Hi guys, it has been a really busy, energetically busy last 2 weeks since the new moon, since you and I sat down and had a conversation last. It was the new moon in Leo, and we talked about all the changes that are going to be happening and the things that we really needed to implement. Before we get into the full moon energy happening all day today, really, and into this evening where she'll be at her fullest, I have extreme discounted readings. It's my birthday month. For those of you that don't know, I am a Virgo. My birthday is at the end of this month, and so I'm offering over 50% off my 30-minute tarot reading, live tarot reading. So if you would like to click on the link below, the readings were only $43, and I had to open up more spaces because the first batch went so fast. So if you'd like to get a reading with me, this is the celebration of life is what I'm really calling it, because this last year has been just that, really, like learning how to celebrate life, and for me in very personal ways. And so that's what we're going to do. This is a very special birthday for me, and $43 to get a reading. I'm not sure how many spots are left, but I know there's not like a ton. So get in where you can fit in. And all right, anything else? I felt like there was something else that I wanted to... I don't remember, but if it comes to me, I should have written it down. I knew I should have written it down, of course, especially in this energy right now where like our brains are sort of scrambled a lot. So if you're feeling unnerved today, like I feel like there's probably two different types of people today. I barely slept last night under this energy, and I woke up this morning, I guess relatively early. I don't know, it was like 7:30 or something like that. And I have a ton of energy. Like I have so much freaking energy, and it feels really good. This is a great day for me. Like things are happening, and that can change dramatically though. Like something could happen where that like a whole bunch of energy or whatever, like if I'm not paying attention to my surroundings and I have an accident or something like that because I'm just going, then this day could turn, dramatically. And then I feel like there are other people that are just irritable and unnerved and not feeling right and feeling just sort of like out of sorts and, just generally not feeling very good. So, and there's a reason for that. There are reasons that that's happening because we have, first of all, this morning, we have the Sun square Uranus. And so that's one of those, Uranus, we talk about Uranus is in Taurus. We've been talking about the changes to the environment, the changes to the food stuff, the changes to our material items, the changes to the resources and jobs. And we went through this whole pandemic since Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. And then the North Node. And the last time we talked about the North Node, Uranus and Mars conjunction. And we still feel that rage. And that's like the word that everybody is using for like the buildup of that energy that got there. And then, moving forward, I've spoken with a couple of people who have just felt this buildup of rage and frustration and restrictions and just like things happening to them that just, they're like, this isn't fair and I don't understand. And, I've been doing what I'm supposed to be doing and yada, yada, yada. The funny thing is days like, times like now, through July, through all of that Uranus, Mars, North Node conjunction, which both Uranus and Mars have begun to move away from the North Node, or the North Node's moving one direction and Mars is moving the other direction, and Uranus is still there at 18 degrees. But it's starting to pull away, and all of that pent up frustration and stuff, it is, now we're feeling that on the surface. So this full moon feels very, very explosive, because even though this Aquarius full moon is Saturnian ruled, because Saturn rules Aquarius, it's also very Uranian as well. It's because it's Aquarius, because Uranus also rules Aquarius, but the moon is also going to be conjunct the Saturn in Aquarius that's currently in retrograde. And so it's illuminating what that Saturn in Aquarius has been doing for us since 2020, when we shifted. We had that Saturn and Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, and then Saturn in Aquarius happened. And life as we know it has not been the same and will not be the same, because we're meant for change, and that's what Uranus is here for. And we talked about that a little bit in the last video. Uranus, he's not a bad guy. He just he helps people understand that change is necessary. We are not meant to stay the same. We are meant to continuously be evolving every single day. Like, be a different person, have a different schedule, do different things with your life where you're not contained into a box. That's where Uranus steps in and says, we're not going to be stuck here. And with Uranus in Taurus, it happens to be with we've been seeing a lot of changes with Gaia. Been seeing a lot of changes with the weather. Mother Nature has been shifting quite a bit, and within all of that, so have our own resources. The pandemic happened, and we had to severely find a new way of life. And now we have the North Node in Taurus with Uranus making these massive changes on even a bigger scale, at even a bigger time, while Saturn is in Aquarius, making us see that those capitalistic agendas of Capricorn moving into the Aquarius side. It's like, no, we want freedom. We don't want to be tied down. We don't want these restrictions. So days like today, when we have these kind of full moons and they're ruled by this Saturnian and Uranian kind of energy that makes us feel restricted, but also feel like we have to have some kind of freedom. There's like this guttural cry. Put that on Twitter yesterday. There's this rage that is building up inside of people because we've felt restricted for way too long with the pandemic, having to wear masks, and whatever your politic reason is or whatever, that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is humanity, not politics. I don't care about politics. One way or the other, if they, when it comes down to it on my everyday basis, nothing is changing in my life. Whoever's in office, I don't care, because that's the way that I live. And a lot of people don't understand that, but that's also okay. Like this Saturn in Aquarius and, all of this Uranian energy in Taurus that we've been going through is a huge wake-up call to our own self-worth. That's what Taurus represents, y'all. Is my value being seen? If you're not seeing your own value, I guarantee you nobody else is seeing your own value. So we add all of these up into this equation, everything that's happened. We add it all up into this equation, and then we have this full moon right up there next to Saturn that's been creating these restrictions. And we have the sun square Uranus. And then let's put the cherry on top of it, you guys. Venus rolls into Leo today. That heart center, that pride, right? And so those feelings of frustrations and irritability, or, you know, the feeling like something has to change, something has to happen, you know, when you just can't quite put your finger on what that is. That's your soul speaking to you and telling you to pivot, or telling you to look at a new path, or telling you to do that, you know, this is the direction that we really want to go. And the reminder that you are your own person. This full moon is a reminder that we are sovereign beings. And we are allowed to make the changes in our life when we want to make the changes, not based on all the bullshit that's going on around us. And a detachment, Aquarius, is about detaching, and not detaching in a way where it's like you just shut down and you don't talk to people and you isolate yourself. Like, yes, some Aquarians do that because that's how they feel the most comfortable. But when I say detachment, I mean allowing yourself to recognize that not only you are a sovereign being, but so is everybody else in your life. And the house that you're, you know, the roof that you're under or not under doesn't define who you are. And that's the freedom, right? The freedom is when you remember that you don't have to do the things that you thought you always had to do in order to be a good person, live a decent life, be successful. That can look a different way, and you'll probably be happier. So anything where you're feeling that restriction from and the irritation from, and you're recognizing, oh wow, like this is where I need to pull my energy away from, because I can no longer sit in this really uncomfortable, ridiculous state of mind. That's what makes us sick, you guys. Like, seriously, I've been doing, you know, so much research and work on the body and the way that our body like can heal itself from things. And it's amazing what can happen is if we're not sitting up here all tense with our shoulders up on our ears, right? So let this full moon take that shit away from you. Just let it happen. It's not going to be easy. It'll probably suck. You might cry a little. Or a lot. But at the end of the day, the things that happen in our lives, and I'm going to say it, the things that happen in our lives make us stronger. Ask me how I know. That's like my new phrase from here on out. When people question, they tell me that I am too fantastical. I have too many ideals, not enough reality. I've been through reality. I've been through all of that. And that's what made me sick. And that's what made me angry. An angry person. So these types of energies that we're going through are needed and necessary. Extremely needed and necessary. Okay, let's do some cards. Okay. They kind of came out all jumbled, so we're just going to put them in the... There we go. Oh, wow. We have 3 kings here. Okay. It's very interesting. So let's just look at these and kind of talk about what the cards mean before we sort of put the story together. The Eight of Swords was the first card here. And then we have the King of Wands. And then we have the Four of Swords. Now remember that this energy is going to be going for the next couple of weeks, like a week and a half. And so will this reading. So if you're watching this like a week later, same, it's still happening. Eight of Swords, King of Wands, Four of Swords, King of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. I feel like all of this masculine energy that's in this reading right now is very telling about where a lot of the energy is being focused. Now, I just want to remind everybody that everybody has masculine energy. Everybody has feminine energy. When we create the balance of the two, we're aligned with ourselves. We're aligned with our present moment. We're aligned in the current journey that we're on. And I feel like the masculine energy is the one that's being very, and I'm going to say triggered. I know everybody hates that word these days. Wait till we get into Saturn into Pisces. Everybody's going to be like, all that new age bullshit is just crap. And like, whatever. The spiritual communities are going to dissolve. Mark my words. By the time we get to Saturn in Pisces, we're also going to have Pluto in Aquarius. And in just a few short weeks, right before Virgo season, Mars will be in Gemini, starting his 7 months in Gemini. By the time Mars goes into Cancer, we will be in that Pluto in Aquarius and Saturn in Pisces phase. And there's like the whole idea of the internet's going to change. And the whole idea of like our way of lives are going to look different. Like there's just no, this massive shift that's happening. And I feel the masculine energy in all of us is really like at the forefront right now. So that's where we're going to talk about. That's the energy that we're going to be coming from, is our masculine energy when we're talking about this. The Eight of Swords is about being in your own prison, the prison of your own mind. Because she can actually get out of that. This is like being in your head too much. This is overanalyzing things, overthinking the future. You don't know what the future is going to bring. Why are you trying to project things into the future? That's just stressing you out even more. And the Four of Swords. So I feel like what's happening with these two is, because the Four of Swords is the healing that happens. The meditation, the quietness, right? And when you lay there and it's like you're finding different perspectives. When you're able to quiet your energy, when you're able to stop going through the loop of every single bad thing that you could possibly think of that's going to happen, hasn't even happened yet, but you're thinking of every possibility there is. It's going to drive you crazy. And then we have the Six of Wands. And so I feel like when you can't slow down, when you're in that masculine energy, if I got to go, 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 which is, like the confident fire sign, there's a quietness that happens after you allow yourself to just sort of come back to your body, get out of your mind and begin to feel more. Get into your heart space, which is very Leo. That's our heart center. It's our self, right? So once you're able to do that and you're able to be honest about how you're feeling, get yourself grounded, right? Get into a more logical grounding than like runaway thought process. That's where the success is going to be with the Six of Wands. Let's clarify. Right. Okay. Okay. Wow. And once you're able to clear your mind and you surrender to the fact that you don't fucking know what's going to happen, excuse my language. Once you clear your mind, Ace of Wands and the Moon. The Moon is the surrender part. You don't know what's going to happen. That's when the stuff starts coming to you. The aces are the gifts, right? The gifts from the universe that show up. When we allow ourselves to see these gifts from the universe as opportunities to act, right? That's what the wands are, the action. Even if we don't know how it's going to turn out, we snatch that up and we actually take action on something because we cleared our own energy and our own mind. That's where the success happens. And we have the Two of Wands with the Empress on the King of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles. Sorry, not Two of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles with the Empress. And here's that thing, right? If we look at the Empress as Mother Earth, which is exactly what she is, she's the mother, she's the provider, she's the nurturer. That Two of Pentacles, if we sit there and vacillate on what it is that we value enough to, this is like that Uranus and North Node energy here. Not so much with Mars, but with Uranus and the North Node, this is like, you know, how do I get to that? How am I able to nurture myself? How am I able to get to that for myself? And we allow ourselves to see that it's already in us, right? There's no, I mean, like, this feels a lot like people are trying to figure out like, how do I become that kind of figure? How do I become that kind of Mother Earth, or that, you know, that energy that other people, you know, it's, and in a lot of ways, because this reading, we're so stuck in our masculine, that feels like that feminine influence within us, where we're, you know, if we're constantly fighting back and forth between the two of them, like, we need to fall into our feminine. Sometimes we need to get in that softness, that vulnerability. And a lot of the things that have been happening, all of these, you know, massive shifts and massive changes in our society and our entire world, it's not even just in a small part of the world, it's in the entire world. We need a soft place to land. And if we couldn't find that anywhere else, we could only find that within ourselves. And it's fine to have that kind of vulnerability and softness, but, you know, when we're stuck in that ego, that masculine, like, too egotistical kind of way, like, I got to make money and I got to have the car and I got to have the house and I have to have all the things. And it's great to have all of that, but what is it giving back to you? You have a whole bunch of bills to pay. You know what I mean? So there's this nurturing of, instead of, you know, all this stuff, trying, you know, having all of this stuff around me, or needing to have all of this stuff in order to feel good about who I am, how else can that come, right? And yeah, this energy is showing us that. And for a while, we've been shown that. And, honestly, it's so nice. Like, you need to understand that if you just relax, everything is going to come together. The people that are part of this journey that you're on, people that you meet along the way, they're going to come together. There will be celebrations. Things are going to happen that are really positive. But if we're constantly always looking at like, what else do I need to do? What else do I need to do? And I was doing that to myself a lot this last week. Like, finally I stopped myself from the over analyzing of what else do I need to do and let myself rest, right? Like, that's what I needed to let myself do, was rest. All right, King of Cups. So a King of Cups is someone who has a whole lot of emotions, and not necessarily someone that shows his emotions easily, but he has a whole bunch of them. We have the King of Cups and we have the King of Pentacles. I'm actually going to clarify them together. This could also be very much that there's a person specifically that is trying to figure out between 3 different people, like what's going to be happening between 3 different people. But there are these opportunities that are coming in. Doesn't have to be a relationship. But I feel like, you almost have to choose. Like, there's these really big choices that you have to make. And it's easier to make those choices when you are aligned to yourself. And I feel like that's what that 4 of Swords is, just a reminder. It's like, get back to your body, get out of your mind, get back to your body, and allow yourself to make these choices. The King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. Okay, here we go. Yes. All right. There's a lot of manifesting of things coming in right now. We get the Magician and the 6 of Cups on these, when I clarified these 2 gentlemen here, the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, we get the 6 of Cups and the Magician. The 6 of Cups is very much a feeling of being with the right person, being with that person that, makes you feel like you want to be a better person. You just want to be a better version, right? Some people call that a soulmate. The Magician here makes me feel like this is something that you're manifesting in your life. And if it's not necessarily a partnership, you're manifesting something for your children, or you're manifesting something from your childhood. But it came, that it took a minute for that to happen. It took a while for that to get to where, you felt like you actually did it. You actually did manifest it, right? But you did. And that's the kind of aha moments that we have. Like, we look at the way magic happens in our lives every single day and we're like, oh wow, how did that happen? Or, oh wow, how did that happen? A lot of times those magic moments come after a really difficult time. And a lot of times that really difficult time got you in your head. So, and this full moon is going to do everything to keep you in your head. So, getting in your body and breathing through the day. Oh, wow. There's the 4th King. So masculine. Oh, look at that. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Of course. Okay. So King of Wands. Sorry. King of Swords. 9 of Cups on the 6 of Wands. Okay. So there's a team around you, like, working for you, whether you believe it or not. This, and going all the way back up here to this moon, like, this is really, really a time for you to understand that surrender is everything right now. Everything. And once you surrender to what's happening around you, and clearly you've manifested whatever it is that you need to surrender to, once you're able to do that, it's that victory that you've been, you know, people are really going to be able to recognize what's happened or what you've done, or, you know, the things that you brought to the table. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, look at that. And the Tower with the Star. And this is huge, because that Tower and the Star, it's like I said in the beginning, sometimes those really, really difficult things that you go through are the best things that could ever happen to you. And you realizing that, and like whenever I see that's the Star card, I think of the North Node. I think of the North Star. So yeah, there's a lot of life-changing events happening these days. So that's why the surrender, which is the Eight of Cups, and there it is, the Taurus stuff with the Hierophant. So yeah, walking away. I don't really necessarily want to say walking away, but detach. You have to detach from the outcomes of things and the recognition of things happening. So I love you guys. Don't forget to take advantage of the readings, the 50% off or more readings for the celebration of life this month. And I'll see you again really soon. Take care.